All right, we're back again this week. As I see, I finally dragged Raj back in here. After, fuck, what's the last one?
I don't know. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
So we finally got him back, and we just got out of Nonstop, which I have like to call Taken on a Plane. Unfortunately, there was no line like, I want my motherfucking daughter on this motherfucking plane, which I originally would have been a dream come true for me. But no, maybe in Taken 3.
Would you have screamed like a little girl in the movie theater?
A little bit. I would have squealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd actually say that stupid line. But no, it's okay. We got plenty of other stupid lines to substitute it. Okay. So I have very specific problems with this movie. Overall, it's a decent thriller.
Yeah.
For the first 3/4. And then just completely loses it entirely in the last act of the movie.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point where it kind of, falls a little bit apart.
A little bit apart?
I did have a certain problem with the ending.
Just that whole last act was just absurd.
Did you want to start from the beginning?
Yeah, we're gonna start from the beginning, because I want to build this up.
Yeah.
Just so how out of fucking nowhere this comes from.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if you have the same problem as me, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll... God. All right.
Where do you want to start?
Okay, I guess we start at the beginning. Now, first off, if you've seen a Liam Neeson action movie, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. It basically starts off with Liam Neeson as an alcoholic air marshal who lost, spoiler alert, lost his daughter at the age of 7.
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8 from cancer, which is, again... One big problem in the movie is a lot of the backstory of these characters. I kind of use the word characters loosely.
He also was divorced.
Yeah, so it's all like thrown off in like one giant monologue, like it's in a soap opera kind of, and that got annoying, and it just like.
Actually, that part I didn't mind, but that's later in the film.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And it feels like I've learned a few lessons from this movie. One, don't fucking take the window seat. And I'll get to why on that later. Yeah. And rule number 2, communication is important. So those are 2 lessons I learned. So anyway, we got introduced some stock characters who we know are gonna pop up later in this movie, you can always tell who's gonna be the more important characters because they're played by the more popular actors.
Yeah.
Like Julia Dreyfus is in this movie, who I really like, as I've said before. I thought she was great in Don John and a few other movies. But,
I didn't see that one.
That's actually a pretty good movie. But so she kind of plays like Liam Neeson's sidekick, who's like this woman who is kind of neurotic and
has to sit at the window seat.
Has to have the window seat, which is, again, I'm never taking the fucking window seat ever again after seeing this. I have to have the aisle seat because this plane's going down. God help me, I'm getting out.
Well, if you have the aisle seat, then you gotta keep getting up for the person in the window seat. You need to get up, for the bathroom.
But think of just a few moments of inconvenience or one very important moment of getting the fuck out. I'm gonna take the latter, even if it's a very, very small chance of that actually happening.
Okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, this movie kind of begins at an airport. You meet this guy, says he's going to Amsterdam.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this now. I'm not gonna say it. Oh, fuck it, you got it, right. I pretty much called it right away that he was the bad guy.
I was wondering what his role was in the movie, because this is like the very, very beginning. It's like the first guy you meet. I'm like, okay, what role he's gonna play? And I didn't want to assume anything, but...
You clearly haven't watched that many thrillers, do you?
I don't watch that many movies. Okay, like, that's not like the top of my list, but yeah.
Fair enough. But if you watch a lot of thrillers, especially ones that kind of like whodunit kind of genre, It's usually the person that pops out very randomly for no apparent reason that ends up being the bad guy at the very end. And it very much follows that cliche. As a guy, he's taking a smoke break, some guy comes up and is like, "Where are you headed?" "I'm going to Amsterdam." And then he disappears without another word. It's like... That's the bad guy.
Okay, I do watch thrillers, like crime dramas and stuff, but it's more like well written.
It's the same basic principle. It's a common thriller cliche. So,
I don't know. At least it's not.
I mean, I give you props for not assuming.
Yeah, I don't want to assume,
But I called it right off the bat, and Yeah, I was right. I'm kind of proud of that.
Yeah, I think they could have introduced him a little more subtly. I kind of caught the second guy, the one he ran into at the
yeah, the asshole with the phone.
Yeah, the asshole with the phone through the security line. That's when I was like, okay, I think this guy might have something to do with something. The first guy, I don't know, it was just so quick. I was like, okay,
that's what
I don't know.
it's
I'm not gonna assume.
It's a common trick. They they introduce him so he doesn't come right out of nowhere. They don't give him enough attention, so you forget about him. And that's when they go, oh, it's that guy, that random guy that happened in that one scene from earlier on in the movie. That's the bad guy. Yeah. That's how they get you. Because the way these movies work in general is the fact that it's never the guy the movie wants you to think it is. 90% of the time.
Yep.
Because it's always how you know who's not the bad guy.
Right, yeah. Usually if they make it look like it's one guy, it's not him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The exception is ironically enough, Despicable Me 2 is like the exception to this.
But they did a better job with the second hijacker. They did give him more screen time, and they kind of made it look like he was on the... it was better than the first guy. Better than the first guy.
Even he does some pretty stupid shit towards the very end of the movie. Completely defying all logic.
I'm talking about the first 3/4 before it falls apart.
Yeah, no. A majority of the complaints we're going to have happens at the last third of the movie, because it's just ridiculous where this goes.
But the first 3/4, they did a great job with the second guy.
I wouldn't say great, but it's like
really okay.
In comparison to the rest of the movie, it's done fairly well. At least he was given some screen time.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, up to that point, it wasn't a great movie, but it knew how to. It was building the tension. I was like, okay, it's not a great thriller, but I can go along with it. So what ends up happening is after the plane takes off, let's go to a little bit more plot here. Liam Neeson gets a text message. I actually don't remember the character's name. It's not important. It's Liam Neeson. You know who it is.
Yeah. I think it's Bill. Right?
Fuck it. As far as I'm concerned, it's Liam Neeson. Gets a text message that says, if you don't put $150 million in my account, I'm going to kill someone every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how's he going to do this? Like, I was kind of...
You're on a plane. How can you kill someone without noticing it?
Snakes.
No. No.
There's a crossover. Liam Neeson fought wolves. Now he's gonna fight snakes with Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
I actually got a funny story about that movie, but I'll tell it later.
Yeah. But yeah, how's this gonna happen?
So it's like, first off, I admit the first time they did this was actually kind of clever. Which was, what happens is, 20 minutes go by, meanwhile he has a partner on the plane whose name is Jack. That one I remember for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's obviously they're trying to figure out, so they're trying to watch anyone who has their phone out whenever they're texting back and forth, and nobody's pulling their phone out, blah, blah, blah. They have all the suspense building. And then Jack gets up to go to the bathroom, and Liam's like, oh shit, it's him. So he goes in there, he goes like, no,
it's a hoax, don't worry about it.
He tries to go off, but he eventually confesses, like, dude, I just need the money. So they end up fighting, and then he ends up killing him. Neeson ends up killing Jack. Obviously Neeson did not die in the first quarter of his own movie.
Right.
That would be a twist.
That'd be
where the rest of the movies brought Julia Dreyfus for the rest of the movie. Now that's a fucking twist. Anyway, it's like Metal Gear Solid 2 all over again.
Yeah. Neeson kills
Jack. I digress. Yes. So Jack's dead. And
he gets a text message.
He gets a text message again, and he realizes, oh crap, it wasn't him.
Right.
So now
it's like, hey, this first person's dead. It's like, oh shit, I killed the guy. I just fulfilled the prophecy.
Yeah, and again, I was worried that
clever.
I thought that was clever, and then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. I hope his whole plan wasn't that Neeson's gonna kill all the victims, because that doesn't really make any sense.
And good thing it wasn't.
No, thankfully it doesn't go that route, because I was like, dude, you can solve this whole problem by just sitting down. just go, 20 minutes, man, how are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill somebody? Nope. Yeah. Are you sure? That guy looks suspicious? Nuh-uh. Well, how about no? How about the obviously Pakistani guy? They were all going to fit as a terrorist. I'm sorry, we have to talk about that, because that was like so obviously the red herring.
Yeah. So yeah, there's this guy. I don't know. He's some Middle Eastern guy, and obviously they're going to try to frame it so it's like, oh, is it the Middle Eastern guy?
Thankfully, it's not. I was actually proud of how they kind of presented that character.
He was the doctor, and he helped.
He was the doctor. He actually tried helping. He was actually a big help. It's like. Although I was a little pissed off by some of the other passengers' response to the Pakistani guy when they realized some weird shit's going on. Like, oh god, this pissed me off. There's a part where after I think the captain eventually dies. Oddly enough, the second time Bruce Wayne's father has died. If you remember, he was Bruce Wayne's father in The Dark and Batman Begins. Okay, just making sure. But. There's some points they don't know how it did. All it's revealed later in the movie. But everyone's like, okay, everyone stand up. I'm gonna search like random searches, random people.
So what they did was the little backstory of the searches. Is they looked on the screen, and basically when Liam Neeson was texting the hijacker guy, the flight attendant and the girl that sat next to him they were looking at the screens and.
No, that was before Jack died. Oh, that's right. No, I see what you're saying. Because they circled all the people that had their cell phones out. Yeah.
So as the text conversation happening, they're circling the people that have their cell phones out, and then during the search, he went through that list and searched every person.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. I forgot about that bit. So he searches the Pakistani guy, doesn't find anything, finds out he's a doctor. Okay, we can use you later. Thank you, stock character. You have a seat. Right. And then goes the next guy, and then the guy looks at him and goes, "You didn't find anything in his bag? Oh, fuck you! All right."
Yeah,
really?
That was unneeded. Yeah.
Really, I know we Americans are bigoted assholes, but come on.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And it's not the first stupid thing with that kind of political nonsense that goes on, but I'll get to that.
Yep.
Because that's a whole rant section.
Yep.
I'm gonna just explode, I think.
But during this search, they find nothing.
They find nothing in this course. It's also worth noting, up to this point, while this is happening, Liam Neeson has I gotta go back a little bit. So when the terrorist first to contact Liam Neeson, he says, "You're gonna transfer this money into this account." Now it turns out, Liam Neeson tells the FAA guy who calls on the airphone, and says they want him to send this account. Can you trace the account?
Right.
He goes, we trace the account. It's in your name.
So now all of a sudden
everyone thinks he's the terrorist.
Guy. Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
Well,
because he's clearly not that big of an idiot.
Well, the other thing is, why would he give his own account, right? It's like if you have any
And why would he tell him to trace it? What sense does that make?
He even says that. He's like, why would I give you this until you trace it if it's mine?
And they respond, I don't read the script. We just think you're a terrorist now.
Yeah, and it's like, we have now no longer going to talk with you. Goodbye.
Because we think you're a terrorist. It's fucking stupid, and it makes no sense. And it's like, it's clearly a frame. Because I don't care if anyone is smart enough to at least become some form of law enforcement of any kind.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a freaking traffic cop.
Right.
It's not this stupid. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. That means it must make me look less suspicious if I tell him the account number in my own name.
Yeah. So
I know he's like the character's got problems, but god damn, he's not that stupid. That irritated me so much.
It didn't bother me as much. I just kind of scratched my head and I was like, okay.
And it just kept escalating that way too. It's not that everyone thinks he's a terrorist. Everyone is. Like, everyone's completely convinced of that shadow of doubt.
What helped convince them was some dude took a video on the airplane.
Now that I can buy.
And he sent it to the news media, and the videos of him dragging some guy across the plane with a gun in his hand.
Which makes me wonder, how the hell did he upload a video on a plane?
Apparently the plane has Wi-Fi. They had a network on the plane.
And yet no one has an iPhone.
What do you mean?
Everyone still has phones with buttons. Do you notice that?
No, they were iPhones.
Okay, maybe. Oh yeah, the guy did have iPhone. I was thinking wow, I was like for
only the main characters had like slidey phones and like black, like the flippy keyboard phones.
Yeah,
but the other guys.
So last century.
Yeah, but Anyways, so the news media got a hold of the video because some guy emailed it. And then now they're broadcasting it on TV, and they're watching TV on the plane. So now they said he's a hijacker, and everyone thinks he hijacked the plane.
And it goes very, very quickly. Neeson isn't telling anyone anything, even though it comes very clear, especially towards the third act, a lot would have been solved if he just told everyone what was going on.
Right. Instead, he does like different measures, like separating the women, children, the men.
Well, that doesn't happen until the very end.
Right.
Of the movie.
Like searching everyone, like hands up on the thing.
Everyone's like, "Hey, what's going on? There's some weird stuff going on. We don't know what's going on." I'm gonna roll my window a little bit because this woman's blended eggs, and I don't want to freak her out.
Oh yeah.
And and it's just at the very end of the movie. Okay, I'm gonna build this up a little bit because it's so fucking stupid what they do here.
Yeah, wait. Did we miss anything?
We just got past. Oh yeah, we got past this.
So Captain dies.
Captain dies. They search the Pakistani dude.
Well, the captain dies.
Comment.
Well, Captain dies. They're like, how did he die? It's a sealed cockpit, right?
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson goes, "Is it the co-pilot? Because no one else accessed it. The only other person is the main stewardess, which is Liam Neeson's friend."
And that's another thing that bothered me. Now you bring that up is I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt you. is the fact that everyone gets so offended whenever he calls him out on stuff, because at this point only like a few other people know what's going on.
Right.
Which was the captain, the co-pilot, the stewardess named Nancy, and
the next door seat,
and the girl and Julia Dreyfus.
Right.
And I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Julian or Julia?
I have no
whatever. I'll look it up later. Anyway, so only two, and then he inevitably, being a law enforcement, he starts asking questions like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" Or he kind of like starts looking at the suspect, and they go, "Oh, how dare you? How could you think of me, a suspect?" Absurd. Yep. And it's like, you're the fucking co-pilot. You're the only other person in this room. Why would I not look at you like a suspect? Well, you seem like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't care if you hold a left foot in your right hand. I'm gonna assume that was just what you brought in your carry-on. So you're free to go.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like...
But who was the second guy who died? Wait, no, that was the second guy.
The captain was the second guy.
Who was the third guy?
Third guy was random dude in coat.
Random dude in coat?
Remember, like, after there's a part where he finds out the Amsterdam guy is on the plane.
Oh.
And he says, like, oh, someone paid me $100. Again, red herring. They're throwing you off the trail. Right. Classic thriller trick. It fooled me for about 5 minutes. Okay, a little bit longer than that, if I'm being completely honest. But, so he devised this trap using the asshole guy from the terminal to, like, set up a program, or like a little pickup virus, that when you send a text message, picture text to the person that Liam Neeson's been talking to, then that phone will ring no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's on silent or whatever. So they do that, and it turns out it's this random guy with a jacket on, who Neeson interrogates, and then guess what? He gets poisoned too. Conveniently just as he's about to reveal some information. Before he can get anything out of him. So that's the next guy who dies.
Throughout that, so it's like, okay, in theory, this guy, he has the phone, right?
Yeah.
It's the only way, it's like, this is a secure network. So the phones are only like, two phones can communicate with each other, 2 air marshals, secure network. So if this guy's the other phone, it must be him.
Yeah.
That's the logic.
That's the logic, and it makes sense. And then, of course, it's not that guy. Turns out
he died, so somebody else. Okay, not him. Who the hell is it?
And after that point, the phone goes berserk and starts texting like the FAA saying, "My name is so-and-so, I can't take it anymore, I'm out of options," and he sets off a bomb to go off. Right. Which turns out was in Jack's suitcase, which looked like it was full of cocaine. Right. But really turns out it was hiding a bomb, which again was kind of clever, although you have to wonder why nobody thought to check his bag before they got on the plane.
Because, as they said, the air marshals walk right past security.
Okay, so again, for that one, they actually covered their tracks on that little plot hole. Yeah. So, props to that. Now we are at the part that drove me fucking crazy. Almost. We are almost at the part that drove me fucking crazy. First, we got the finally logical conclusion where everyone, after the newscaster started going on, all the TVs on the plane, showing his face, which as a passenger has to be the scariest fucking moment in your life.
Right. So now they all decide to attack him.
So they all turn on the they're always suspicious as fuck of what's going on. They all think that there's a terrorist thing or hijacking going on. Yeah. And they all turn on the TV and all see his face plastered on the news.
Liam Neeson's face.
Like, I just imagine being the passenger going.
Yeah. It's like the guy that we think is protecting is now a confirmed hijacker.
And then the second scariest thing happened on a plane. The first one comes right before the stupid plot twist.
Well, then they get the fight.
So then obviously the passengers do the smart thing, turn on Neeson, and then Neeson finally explains what's going on and explains about, and then that's when all the background stuff.
Well, it was because of the one dude with the gun, right? The
Amsterdam dude,
the dude who ends up being
the bad guy.
One of the bad guys
saves him because he points a gun at everyone else. It's like, get off him! Is there really a bomb on the plane and stuff like that? Yada yada yada. And so they finally was like, yeah.
Wait, so did the Amsterdam dude? I'm just realizing this. Not know there was a bomb?
No, he knew there was a bomb.
So why was he? Well, anyways.
Because he wanted to look like a good. He wanted the marshal to pay and be like the martyr and stuff. Yeah. And anyway. We're getting to that. Yeah, we're almost there. Almost there.
Yeah, so Liam Neeson gets saved by the bad guy. Yes. And then he makes this big giant monologue speech
of basically telling all his backstory while simultaneously somehow convincing the crew that he's someone to be trusted.
Now that part I didn't have too much of a problem with, because he was like, look guys, yes, I'm not the perfect guy, and he names off his problems, but he's like, I'm not trying to hijack this plane. I'm trying to save it. And I was like, okay, I can go along with this.
And it's like, you list all your problems, like, you're kind of giving me all the reasons why I should not trust you right now.
But what was the...
That being said, that'd be a great first date strategy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just put all your flaws on the table and just let everything else... I'm sorry, I'm stealing a joke. But, anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So he finally gets Aaron... Then, surprisingly, Aaron takes it pretty well, and they all decide to cooperate and work together. And the guy who started the fight against Liam Neeson, who's like an NYU cop, or like New York cop,
right.
Who I'm surprised they didn't just bring him on to begin with. Like, hey, you're a cop, therefore you're useful. Come along here, please.
Yeah.
So they all work together, and they all do, like, basically says, okay, we can't disarm the bomb, we can just put it against this door here,
right.
and slam all the bags against it, and hope for the best, basically.
So the bomb will deflect outwards or whatever.
So, like, we have to send the plane to 8,000 feet and stuff like that.
So pressure, it doesn't rip the plane
apart. Like, the pressure equalizes and stuff like that. It's all science, probably bullshit if you actually fact check it.
But, yeah, but then, you know, these two fighter jets come alongside, and, like, they're gonna escort it.
Now that's the #1 scary sight to see while you're on a plane. To open a window and go, hey, what, is that a fucking jet?
So they basically told the co-pilot, who's now the pilot, flying the plane, if you lower this plane, if you deviate from the route, we're gonna shoot you down.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, and Liam Neeson's saying, hey, you need to lower this plane. So now this, like, okay, is he a terrorist?
Tension, what's going on?
So,
the tension is building, like in episode 24.
So they think he's a terrorist.
Neeson should be on 24. I'm sorry. Anyway.
But so now there's a dilemma here. What are we gonna do? This bomb timer is ticking down.
And
Go
then
ahead.
that's when it happens. We get the dumbest villain motivation.
Well, first the guy goes, okay, yeah.
I'm just the dumbest fucking motivation I have heard in a long ass time. I've seen a lot of terrible movies.
Well, yeah, so Liam Neeson, his seatmate, and then the programming guy, who's the bad guy they met at the terminal, they all end up in the first class area, and this is where it goes down.
So what happens is Neeson finds out about the news reports. He finds out somebody uploaded a video.
Right.
He looks at the footage. Turns out Amsterdam guy, dude, had an opportunity to poison random jacket dude.
And slip the phone in.
And slip the phone in, even though his hands were duct taped. So I'm not quite sure how that works, but I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
And then inevitably a fight ensues.
Well, because Liam Neeson, once he realizes this, you know, confronts him.
Of course.
Yeah.
And a fight ensues, and Amsterdam guy gets the gun and pulls on Neeson, who's on the ground now. And then that's when it turns out. Gonna roll out the window for this.
Well, so yeah, now Neeson, programmer guy.
That programmer guy to come after this. Because he was in first class. They were in a coach at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So, it turns out the reason they're doing this, I'm not making this up, it's mentioned in passing with one line up to this point in the movie. The reason they're doing this is 9/11. Are you fucking kidding me? 9/11 is your motivation.
So it's not literally just 9/11.
It's basically just 9/11.
Amsterdam's father was on a plane on 9/11 that got hijacked. So basically, he says security in America is a joke, and they wanted to prove the point by hijacking this plane that it's a joke. They can get past security and do all this stuff.
His motivation is 9/11. This is a topic I never thought I would have to talk about on this show, and yet here I fucking am.
Well then,
Grant has made 9/11 comparisons movie in the past, but I never thought I had talking in a literal sense.
Right. Well, the thing is, like, and they won $150 million.
They tie it to a cheap-ass motivation on 9/11. 9/11 was mentioned once in passing up to this point in the movie. In passing. Comes right the fuck out of nowhere. Nobody mentions it. No one talks about it. No, just all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere. This is about 9/11. Our security is terrible. I'm trying to show the world the wrongs they do. Never mentioned. No themes up to this point. It's fucking ludicrous. It comes right the fuck out of nowhere. So
No, there was a theme earlier where he started talking about walking past security.
That was a line. A line doesn't count as a theory.
Hey, it was
as a
mentioned.
theme.
It was mentioned.
Like I said, it was mentioned. There was one point where he goes, "Does any of this situation sound familiar to anyone else here?" The only reference, even remotely close to 9/11 up to this point in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, that line.
That's the only reference. And now all of a sudden you're lecturing us about how airport security is a sham.
All right, let's keep going.
No, I'm sorry, I can't. This needs. What was the thought process here? I thought it was gonna be like a personal connection, like maybe like there's something about his daughter's cancer or something.
Well, he
like that.
wasn't supposed to be on that plane. Liam Neeson just happened to be there. Remember, at the very beginning of the movie, he wanted to leave whatever that place where he was, London or whatever. No.
Yeah. Well, the guy clearly had.
He wanted to leave early. He made them change his flight, so he wasn't meant to be there.
Still, he clearly had a clear history of who he was, what he's done, and everything in between. So therefore, he had a pretty good idea who this guy was. It would have made sense if there was some kind of personal connection there. No, 9/11. I'm gonna remember that as like a bad script writing.
Well,
if I can't think of a better motivation, 9/11 works every time.
Well, I don't know where he got that information from, because it's like Liam Neeson was not supposed to be on that plane. He talked to Liam Neeson once in the very beginning. Where the hell did he get all the name of his daughter?
Well, apparently the same place the newscasters fucking got it. So
online, I don't know.
Probably, I don't know. It's Google Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but it's like, oh hey, I'm on this plane with a new air marshal. Let me quickly Google the details.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, that's what he did. Oh my god, it just pissed me off. I was like, that was the point where I was like, okay, I can get behind this. All of a sudden, 9/11. I was like, what? Where are you going? Why is?
Yeah, it was.
What made you think this was a good idea? Like that's. I mean. Even as thrillers go, you can go with a pretty boring motivation. It doesn't be great, but at least I can accept it. But don't just pull 9/11 out of your ass and just assume that's okay.
It's airplanes. At least it's somewhat related. It's not like some bus like Speed. If you tried to use 9/11 Speed type movie, it wouldn't work. At least here it's like you're on an airplane, there's hijacking. Okay, when else was there an airplane hijacking? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I like how you backtrack there. It's like, I'm not supporting what they did.
Yeah, I'm just saying this might have been running through their heads. So,
That's like
I said, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying this might have been.
That's like having the whole motivation at a steakhouse be against, I don't know, Bunsen burners because someone randomly burnt their hand in 1994. Just incredibly loose connectivity there. And it's just, oh god. And clearly, they have jets ready to shoot down this fucking plane. So I'm not sure security is a sham, as really as accurate as you let it out to be.
Yeah, I don't know why they would shoot down the plane. That doesn't make sense.
It's because you don't want to crash into a building.
Yeah, but obviously it wasn't deviating from the route. He was going to the airport trying to land.
Well, they don't know that.
Yes, that's true. They don't know that. But the pilot was trying to tell them. He's like, there's a bomb on this plane. I need to get this plane down. Why aren't you listening to me? I'm on the plane. I know what's going on. You're over there. You don't know.
So is that part you had issues with?
Yeah, dude, trust the damn pilot.
To be fair, just for the sake of playing devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Let's assume that the plane was hijacked by Neeson. Neeson could have been holding a gun to his head, too.
This is true, but it's like the pilot's like,
it makes more sense than fucking 9/11 out of nowhere.
The pilot's announcing what he's doing. He's saying, look, I want to go down to 8,000 feet. You can watch me do it. If I do something different, fine, shoot me now, but this is what I'm going to do. It's not like he's doing some random shit where it's like, that would surprise the FAA. He's telling them the steps he's trying to take.
It makes sense. Well, I kind of think, it would have been a better twist.
Yeah.
If, this actually made much, at least I could have laughed at this. It's like, why are you doing this? And it just went, Sekhail!
That wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. I don't know. At least doesn't make any more sense than 9/11. At least I can laugh and Sekhail. Sorry, Sarah.
But at least 9/11 could be like,
or just go, Vietnam! What?
Planes! It's like, loose connections,
Hey, World War II had planes.
Okay.
And they crash into stuff. So, you know what?
Yeah.
I can make that same fucking connection.
What, the kamikaze?
Isn't that kind of what they were doing?
Kind of, I guess.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There's my version for the sequel.
So their plan was the two hijackers' plan. Well, I guess they weren't hijacking the plane. They were just killing people. Their plan was to jump off the plane in a parachute.
At least that's what the programmer's idea was. Well, not a very good plan,
And
really.
then Liam Neeson goes, "Are you stupid? They're gonna shoot this plane down, and you're gonna go down with it. Like, hello, did you not think this through? They're gonna freeze the money as soon as they put it in there."
His motivation was 9/11, so yeah, I don't think they were that smart.
Okay.
No disrespect to 9/11 people, by the way. This is just how...
We're talking about the movie.
We're talking strictly about the movie and just how stupid this plot twist is, because it's like...
They shouldn't reference something like...
Look, if you're gonna bring up 9/11, I have no problem with bringing up 9/11, but if you're gonna do it, at least make a point to talk about it.
Yeah.
At some point would be great.
Okay.
Like, that's all I'm asking. It's not much. Just give me a clue.
Hey, he said his father died on 9/11. That's what motivated him.
Yeah, but that comes right the fuck out of nowhere. That's my problem. It's like, it's called foreshadowing. It's called building up to the moment. Not just, that's like if at the end of, let's say, a Disney movie, the villain, there's a surprise villain. He goes, "Why are you doing this?" And he just goes off on a long speech about how his parents were robots from the future that ran to Arnold Schwarzenegger that made him watch a Disney movie while they died slowly in a fire, and that's why I'm here to ruin this Disney movie. That makes as much sense as this fucking plot twist.
Like I said, I never said it was a good plot twist. I'm just saying it's loose.
I'm just trying to give as much a connection as I can as to how out of nowhere this plot twist comes.
It was out of nowhere, because, yeah, they didn't mention it before. They did mention security once, but they could have brought it up more if they were going to use
like,
security.
if you're gonna try to shove this moral down my throat, at least give me a reason for it. Instead of, like, at that point, I'm so confused as to why this has come out at this point that I'm not listening to it.
I'm confused. I can see why. But
bewildered is my better word for me.
Yeah, but I was like, they could have brought it up more. They could have maybe put some more, like, character or mini, side plot into the movie about security.
Maybe.
Even if it was the beginning.
At least that would have made sense.
Something with, like, the security line. They could... Something in the beginning could have at least tied it in, but they didn't.
No, they didn't. Instead, we got even more ridiculous. It got even more ridiculous after that.
So now Liam Neeson goes, "Here's the phone. The bomb is going off in 2 minutes. You still have a chance to land this plane and not kill everyone."
He's the programmer guy, by the way.
This is the programmer guy, yeah. And, he's telling this to him, and the guy goes, "Okay, I'll do it."
And then bam,
Amsterdam guy shoots him.
And then, of course, the plane...
Which I don't get why...
Because he's a moron?
He wants to go down with the plane, like...
Yep, that's his plan.
Like, because the programmer guy had a parachute, 2 parachutes. Say, "Hey, we're gonna get off this. We're gonna be good." And the guys, "We're not getting off this plane. We're a martyr." I'm like, what are you, Al Qaeda now? Like, come on. He's talking like it.
Really?
Yep.
We're going that route.
That's what they were trying to reference.
We just had a whole route.
That's what they were trying to reference there. What else could it be?
I'm not just now. I'm just not going there. Anyway.
9/11 and Al Qaeda. That's what the whole theme of this movie was. But anyways.
That's not the whole theme. That's what we're gonna spend the last 10 minutes talking about.
Not the theme. That's the theme they pulled out of a hat.
There you go. Okay.
Yes. That was the theme they pulled out of a hat at the end of the movie.
There you go. Okay, I'll take that. Now, where was it? Oh yes. And then the plane starts to crash.
No. And then
it's freaking
1 minute left, and the pilot goes, "Fuck it, dive."
And then dives, and that's when the last action comes out, and it just gets more and more ridiculous.
So now the plane's diving, and
Okay, they figure out everything that makes it a tense thriller, and it just becomes an absurd A-team action sequence because the Amsterdam guy accidentally shoots a hole in the window, which causes the window to fly off, and then the
hole rips in the fuselage.
And then when the guy descends, oh god, this is so stupid. The gun that's on the ground floats in the air into Neeson's hand, and then he uses to shoot the Amsterdam guy. It's like, oh my god.
I think that was pretty awesome.
If this was an A-Team sequel, this would be the best moment of my life. But no, you're like a semi-serious thriller. You can't pull this stupid shit.
I thought that was a legit moment.
And this is the part where I say I'm never gonna sit in the window seat again because there's a little girl in the plane, and the plane starts to crash, and of course, she sits in the window seat
where the windows fly,
and then of course that whole fucking side of the plane falls off, and the little girl just goes flying out the window.
Well, she's not flying yet.
Caught by Neeson, and tries to pull her in. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm getting.
And also earlier, because he had lost a 7-year-old daughter. He gave her the string, the power magic string.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's really important though.
But he gave it to her, and then he saves her, so it's almost like he's saving his daughter, kind of thing. Symbolism. Because he was a bad father before, now he's redeeming himself, kind of symbolism. And then then
full circle.
Oh yeah, full circle. Bomb's already gone off. They're,
So yeah, basically.
You did get down to 8,000 feet because when the bomb went off, it didn't break the whole plane apart, and then it crash lands safely. And this is my problem now. This is where my big problem comes in.
Really? All right.
They all jump out of the plane, right? And everything's good, and I'm like, okay. I know they're gonna come and arrest Liam Neeson now because they've been saying that for the whole damn movie. We're gonna arrest your ass. We're gonna this. We're gonna that.
Yeah, they don't touch him.
And then people are coming on the plane. I'm like, okay, he was the hero. Somehow he's gonna have to get out of this because they all think he's a terrorist. The flight attendant comes out. I'm like, oh, she's his friend. Maybe she's gonna explain to the police that he was the savior or whatnot, right? Nope, doesn't happen. The other flight attendant comes down. Nope, doesn't happen. And then all of a sudden they cut to an ambulance with Liam Neeson, and they're all like laughing and cheering. I'm like, what? Really? Really? He gets off like that?
With the biggest apology note they can make. To be fair, like thousands of eyewitness reports that says, "Hey,
but there was no police coming. There was nothing. No like arresting him. No one explaining it. It was just like someone jumps out of the plane and oh hey, he's all free to go. It's like. Where was the resolution?
They probably just went, hey guy, you're under, Neeson. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a big misunderstanding. Can you sign this? Anyway.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like, this phone rings, he goes, hey, I was wrong about you, what you were up against, like, this is my apology, and we need the money back, and Liam Neeson goes, what money? He goes, ha ha ha, hangs up the phone. It's like, that was it?
Pretty much, yeah.
There was like no resolution to the whole movie. They're building him up as a terrorist and a hijacker, and they don't resolve it.
And it just goes into a, whoops.
Yeah, whoops.
My bad.
And they don't even show.
See you for taking 3? All right.
They don't even show how it gets figured out. And then all of a sudden he meets the girl, he's like, the one who's sitting next to him is like, hey, where are you going? She's like, I don't know. And they just smile at each other. And
then that's the movie ends.
Yeah. So, my big thing was like, they built up this whole thing where he's trying to save the plane, now he's a terrorist, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, that's just all gone in like a second. That was it done. It was like, okay, where's the resolution? That bothered me a lot.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty stupid. Didn't bother me. I thought it was
more stupid than any other thing that we talked about.
9/11.
At least I can loosely buy it because they tried to explain it in a horrible way. This one, there was nothing.
At that point, I was like, "Are we done? Can I go home now?"
There was nothing. I was like,
I don't know. Maybe I was like, okay. After that stupid nonsense,
at least they could have shown like cops rushing out and like people going, "No, wait, he was the guy. He saved us. Like, let him go. Something like a 10-second like cutscene.
Maybe it's a deleted scene.
Maybe, but
along with all the clips about 9/11 and security.
Yeah, I just thought that was a really like, it was like,
oops, sorry.
They just kind of like dropped the ending out of
like, well, we're done. See you guys.
It was like, wait, did you like run out of budget? Like, we're
just like, hey,
we had to cut those
you
scenes
paid
out?
to see it. So
it's like, yeah.
Oh god.
They should have done something there.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, movie.
Yeah. Aside from
I'd say a solid B.
I would say stop 2/3 of the way through and you're good.
Aside from the really slow build-up in the beginning,
I was fine with that.
I don't know. I thought it was really slow. Like, they dragged it on. Like, the first 10 minutes, I'm like, what's the point of this movie? Like,
it's called build-up, my friend. That's how you build things up.
I feel it could have been shorter. But
yeah, I'd agree. Anyway, so
the ending could have been longer. That's all I know. They could have taken that screen time and put it towards the ending.
They could have just made the motive money, and then we could have just not had to do stupid 9/11 shit. Well, that would have been great.
There's an easier way to get money.
Yeah, but at least I would have bought money. Motivation's
like,
boring, but at least it's not stupid like 9/11.
Yeah.
Not, you know what I meant. Don't hate me.
Yeah.
So let's move on to trailers then. So first one we got was Transcendence, which
one was interesting.
I think it's the third time I've done this trailer, which is the Johnny Depp one where he's basically HAL 9000.
It's the first time I've seen this trailer, so
yeah. So I don't know, it could be interesting.
I mean, it was basically what, like, the guy died, but in order to keep him living, they uploaded his conscience into the computer or something.
Yeah, and then it basically becomes Cave Johnson.
I don't know, it seems interesting.
You don't know who Cave Johnson is, do you?
Yeah. No, that's why I kept
it's a Portal 2 reference, guys. Nerds unite.
But I don't know, it seemed interesting. And it was like, he can evolve his conscience on the computer. And
you know what I've been thinking? If life gives you lemons, Don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these?
I don't know, it seems interesting. I do remember thinking at the end of the trailer, like, oh, that was dumb, but I don't remember what I thought was dumb.
Sorry.
I don't know. But I think it was interesting.
You know who I am?
No.
I'm the man that's gonna burn your house down with the lemons. I'm gonna have my engineers invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
Like a grenade?
Yes. Nerds will get that, Raj will not.
I will.
But, Google it. Cave Johnson lemon speech. Look it up.
I shall.
Alright. So next one, I'm really excited for this next one. Captain America 2, Winter Soldier.
I already had a Captain America movie.
Well, yeah, but...
I don't know, I was kind of...
Well,
that trailer was very busy. I'll say that. It was like cut.
Well, yeah, it's because
they tried to fit in like the whole movie, I felt, in the trailer.
No,
like,
they didn't.
There was like 300 scenes in that one trailer.
No.
Yes, I know you really like Captain America.
No, it's not because I just like, if it's a stupid movie, I'll say it's a stupid movie. I don't care if I like the character or not. I will be the first to say Green Lantern sucks, and he's one of my favorite characters. So,
but I don't know, I thought that they were trying to do too much with that trailer.
The point is, I mean, of course they're going to make a sequel. They have a Thor sequel, they have two Iron Man sequels. Are you surprised they're not making a Captain America sequel?
I guess.
I mean, look at what they're doing with the movie. This is, I mean, really think about it.
I'm not sure where they're going with it. Are they trying to make like an Avengers 2?
Well, of course they're making Avengers 2, but this is...
But they're not gonna base it on Avengers 1. They're gonna make all the new movies of all the characters and make another...
Of course they are!
Man, they're just milking the shit. I don't know. I feel like... I don't know.
Dude, it's called build-up. It worked for the first Avengers. That's how the first Avengers worked. You build up all the characters, you set the stage, and then when the next Avengers come out, it all makes sense because you don't have to worry about building up everything because it's already established.
True. But they could have just based it off the first Avengers instead of rebuilding all the characters from scratch.
They're not rebuilding from scratch. They're building off an established forefront. There's a lot of Captain America has not been explored up to this point. Because all we've seen is in the World War II era. This is the first time we're really seeing Captain America in the modern day. We haven't seen that yet. And keep in mind, it's not just a sequel, it's also jumping entire movie genres. Think about it. Because the first Captain America was very much kind of a cheesy war movie. This one is more of a spy thriller. That's a gamble. That's a huge gamble for a sequel. And that could easily blow up in their face. And I think it's going to turn out very well. And the Winter Soldier is a very well-known comic book character. So,
yeah. True. Okay.
So,
there. That.
I win. So, yeah, I'm the master debater.
I was a fan of the first one. That's why it's more of like a personal thing. I was a fan of the first one. I kind of would be cool if they just left it at that. And they just made the new Avengers off the old Avengers. And
see, that's the thing, though.
And not build like all the characters separately again. I don't know, that's just a personal thing for me.
Well, I think you kind of need to build up all the characters separately. And not all the characters. Hulk's not getting a sequel, for example.
Yeah.
But it's just more, I think what benefited the first Avengers is the fact that they took their time. They really made sure you knew who these characters were and explores you to explore them so you don't have to dump that all on the Avengers movie to do all that work for you because there's no way you could do that and make a good movie.
True.
And that's why the Avengers worked, is because all these characters are already established.
But they are established now. They don't have to re-establish them.
But no, true, but you can grow them. You
can grow them. You can grow them.
And not to mention, while you're doing that, you can also start setting the stage for Avengers 2, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, they could do that.
Not necessarily with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 did not set the stage that much.
Right. That was just like, let's get another Iron Man.
Pretty much. But even then, I like Iron Man 3.
I just hope, well, yeah, I mean, we'll see when we see the movie, obviously.
Yeah.
But let's hope it's not an Iron Man 3 type.
I don't think it's going to be. I think they're taking a lot of risks with this one. I think it's going to pay off.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see when the movie
they're making a fucking Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Clearly, Marvel is not above taking huge-ass risks.
They're not.
So, next one we got is, speaking of kind of more generic movies, Need for Speed.
Oh yeah, we're doing that one.
Yep, that's next week.
Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this one.
It looks like it's trying to be Fast and Furious.
No, I think it'll be. Thing is, to me, I'm a really big fan of Fast and Furious. This movie looks
I think we established that.
This movie, to me, I still don't get it. I get Fast and the Furious. I don't get this. Even as a guy that loves cars, I'm like, okay, it's a car racing movie. But I've watched this trailer like 5 times, and I still don't see the point.
Neither does most people.
So we're gonna see what happens in the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's got a talented cast. It's got Michael Keaton. It's got
it's got a good cast.
Aaron, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, I don't know his last name.
Was that Jamie Foxx in there?
Might have been.
Because that is Jamie Foxx, and hot damn, they do got some talent in here.
Yeah.
So
we'll see where they take this. Obviously, they're not revealing a lot in the trailer.
I mean, it hasn't been getting very good reviews. My hopes aren't high, but I think it's got like 43% of Rotten Tomato right now. But and the last one we got, yeah, I'm not sure. My hopes aren't high for this one either. Sabotage, which was the Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of sort of cop movie.
Oh yeah, that one.
Where it's espionage and betrayal and all that yada yada.
And one of his own men.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what you're getting into. So
yeah, it seems okay.
It looks like a generic Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie. So
if that's what you want, it's gonna be good.
Yep. So
anything else?
Nope. That's it. Final thoughts.
I think we talked about most everything.
Stupid twist. Decent 3/4.
Decent movie. I think up to that twist, which was like 3/4 of the way through, it was a good movie. And then it kind of fell apart because the reasoning was really... If they backed up the reasoning better in the beginning of the movie, the first third of the movie...
At least it would have made sense.
It would have been a lot better, and it wouldn't have made it as much of a drop as it was.
Yeah, I agree. So that about covers it for today. We got a busy week this week. We got 300, I think we're doing tomorrow night. And then we got Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Both are done by Wes, by the way.
Yep.
God bless you, Wes. You've been such great help to me for the past few months. But
and then me and Grant.
We're gonna do Need for Speed next week.
Yep.
We also, for the rest of this week, we also got the Grand Budapest Hotel, which we're gonna check out, and we still need to check out The Wind Rises, which is the Miyazaki film, which we'll get to whenever we can. Heavily on that one, and we all know how busy she is. So. That's about it, guys.
Cool.
See you all tomorrow-ish, whenever I upload these. So, bye.